Russian President Vladmir Putin claims the country has developed a new cruise missile that is invincible. In his annual State of the Nation address in Moscow, the Russian president claims Moscow has tested nuclear weapons, including a nuclear-powered cruise missile and a nuclear-powered underwater drone that would be immune to enemy intercept. Putin claims these weapons can reach anywhere in the world. Through a video presentation, Putin highlighted two nuclear-capable weapons, a cruise missile and a submarine-launched unmanned underwater vehicle. Putin said the warhead was low-flying, a cruise missile which would be difficult to spot. It has a nuclear payload with a practically unlimited range and an unpredictable flight path. Putin claims the weapon can bypass lines of interception and is invincible in the face of all existing and future systems of both missile defense and air defense. Throughout his speech, Putin made it clear that the focus of the new weapon system was America. Putin claims Russia has acted in response to the U.S. withdrawing from the Treaty on Anti-Ballistic Weapons. Putin also added that any use of nuclear weapons against Russia or its allies would be considered as an attack on Moscow. Let's go straight across now to Nandan Unnikrishnan, Senior Fellow ORF, joining us from New Delhi for more on this. Your initial reaction, sir, to this announcement made by the Russian president?
Well, at some stage this was inevitable because, during President Bush's presidency, when the Americans pulled out from some of the arms control treaties, it was inevitable that the Russians would respond, and that they would respond by developing systems that would in some ways make up for the advantages that the United States otherwise enjoys. So I would not be very surprised. I don't know if the claims are what truly exists, but if these claims are true, then it is truly impressive.
All right, what do you make of the timing, sir?
Well, timing has more to do with the internal elections, I suspect. Putin is facing an election in 17 days. He is likely to win, but at the same time, he would like to create an atmosphere of support and show that he's capable of guarding Russia's interests as he has done through his presidency.
Also, we're looking at this announcement coming at a time when, of course, you're talking about the domestic picture, but also taking a step back to see the increasing rhetoric that we've seen coming in from the United States. Why make this announcement now is the question.
No, well, you see, the thing is that the U.S. has announced that in their national security strategy and the defense strategy that they have declared that Russia and China are their main adversaries. So if that is the, and therefore that they would refine the weapon systems that they have, I'm talking about the United States. In that context, obviously, the Russians want to show that they are not trailing behind and that they are ready to match forces, in a sense, with the United States. But what they're doing probably more pragmatically is they're not attempting to match the United States dollar for dollar, but they're trying to create systems which would have considerable deterrence capabilities.
And lastly, we are talking about a nuclear-powered cruise missile. We are talking about a nuclear-powered underwater drone that would be immune to enemy intercept. This is what the Russian president is calling as invincible. Do you agree that this beats the kind of making of any other country, or at least in the recent past?
No, I don't think so. I mean, firstly, if you remember, if you recall, at least the way BBC quoted it, he quoted his speech. He clearly says that it's capable of beating any interception that exists in Asia or Europe. So he is not really saying that it is directed towards the Americas.
No, I didn't say that, yes.
be that as it may, the point is that there are many countries, including China and the United States, which are developing considerable new technologies, which put today's defense systems at a disadvantage. So the Russians also realize that they have to, play catch up, if not at least stay ahead. And this is one of those areas in which they are developing their strengths. They don't have the financial wherewithal to try and match the United States or the Chinese dollar for dollar. So they are developing systems that they think will be the most pragmatic deterrence.
Okay.